All right, so I was doing a little bit of research, and so basically, I think our GDP is around 30 trillion, but our government takes in around it's estimated at 5.5 trillion in taxes, so they can use it to pay our bills, which our bills are probably going to be around 7 trillion this year. I think it's 1 trillion for interest on our debt, on our national debt. I think our military is probably around a trillion. Social Security is 1.5 trillion. Medicare is a little bit over a trillion. Um, Welfare, SNAP, stuff like that. It's a little bit over a trillion as well. I forget what those like odds and ends. Obviously, trillions a lot of money. We all know that. So basically, we're in the hole. We're in the red. Before I get into anything else, we're in the red. 1.5 trillion estimated this year. We've been in the hole every single year for like I think since 2020. Where does this lead us? What does that mean? It means they have to print more money out to fund everything. They have to add to the national debt, so they're just added to the national debt again with the big beautiful bill, and at some point they're gonna have to, in order to pay for everything that we owe, they have to print more money out, causing more inflation. So making our national debt even bigger, making our interest payments even bigger. You can see where this heads. Now, our interest payments will go down if the Fed lowers interest rates. But they've been very reluctant to lower rates due to Trump's tariffs and the inflation that has caused. Now, there's different types of reports. For me, my own personal life, I feel I'm barely hanging on. So like I've felt like this for years now. Like basically felt like I've been barely hanging on for the last 20 years of my life, honestly. So like, you know, these high prices, it's just like all of my money I make goes directly towards bills. I can't even afford a health insurance at this point. And it's just kind of like, hopefully nothing bad happens. That's where I'm sitting. And I think this is a lot of Americans. They're just like, fingers crossed, I'm cutting things out and hopefully bad things don't happen. And I look at health insurance as pretty much worthless. Um, so it's just kind of like, I guess send me a bill and I'll pay whatever I can pay on it. It's just what it feels like. Honestly, is the game's rigged against us. If you have made it to the other side and you're rich already, you're good. The ladder's up. Like all of us are all fucked. All of us peons and working class people, we're all fucked. We're the ones that keep this place going too. That's what's funny is like we're the ones that keep this place going, and it's like, no, we want to keep on funding all the politicians and the rich people, and make even though they have way more wealth than they need, and they don't really want to give anything back, and they don't, and they just want to keep taking and taking, and they just like, they don't see like, yeah, we're fine for now, we'll probably be like stable for the next few years, but at some point we will have breakdowns. People will just stop working. People, like, it's like, I'm not going to keep going to work, and what, so I can't afford any shelter. Like, I'm working, I can't afford shelter. That's where we're at. So yeah, it's just, it's unsustainable. Everything is unsustainable. And what they really should be thinking about doing, since a lot of these boomers are really well off, and they've pretty much voted to fuck over Gen Z and the millennials and Gen Alpha. They basically don't give a fuck about the next generation. And not all boomers, but like a good portion of boomers still think that they live in high school, and they even though that they're like washed up and they're way older and they can't have kids, and a lot of these people are either out of work or they're about to be out of work, or it's just like they don't want to downsize their life at all. They want to, and in fact, they want to what it seems like is they want to expand. Like, I don't know who they're trying to like look like impress. You're old. You should care more about your relationships. You don't have much time left on this planet. Like, your body's eventually going to give out. This just shows like how immature a lot of these people are. Like, these people are way older than me. Not all boomers, but like, these people are way older than me, and they still look at material possessions like it's a huge big deal. Like, I need to have all these houses or all this material possessions, and it's just like, you realize that like you can't take that with you when you pass away, and you really don't give a shit about your grandkids and your kids, do you? It's like, why are you not downsizing and like and trying to live a more frugal lifestyle and care more about your relationships? You see all these people in office, all these boomers in office. You could even put Trump in there. It's like, why are you in office still? Like, Bernie, why are you in office? Nancy Pelosi, what are you doing? Like, we just had somebody that basically passed away. Enjoy the time you have left. Enjoy it with your kids. They won't give up power. They will refuse to give up power. And this is causing such a resentment with the younger generations. And, the way things are going, at some point we're either going to default on our debt within the next 10 years, because we can't continue doing what we're doing when our bills cost more than the revenue to cover those bills. We can't keep doing this for the next 10 years, especially like when the future liabilities keep coming in, and like the boomers start, trying to retire and collect Social Security. You're going to see our bills go from 7 trillion to like 8 trillion, maybe 9. So we're not going to tax our way out of this. We're not going to expand or grow out of this. Like, the best thing we can do at this point is, and I asked Rock this, I'm like, what would happen if we did this? So I don't think that we should just cut off people off of welfare. I don't think that we should just cut people off of Social Security. I think what needs to happen is we need to try to wean people off. I think that we need to have good paying jobs so people would rather go work those jobs and be more prosperous and independent than rely on the government. That's what I think. the tariffs bring, the tariffs bringing jobs here. Oh, I don't want. Who wants to work factory jobs? I mean, do you like to eat? I mean, like, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep paying $1 trillion, over $1 trillion in welfare every year. We can't keep paying Social Security and everything like this. Like, what has to happen is, like, boomers have to realize you got fucked. Like, I got fucked too, man. Seriously. I looked at my check last week. Last week's check. I get paid every 2 weeks. I got taken out $120 for Social Security, and I think like $30 for Medicare. I won't ever get that shit. So I've been paying into this system for the last 27, 28 years, and I'm not getting it either. And I'm just trying to do things to because I won't be able to rely on that. I accept the fact I'm not going to have that, so I'm trying to think things outside the box. But I'm hoping robots save us. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. We'll see if that happens, but it's like, boomers, I don't know what to tell you. Like, maybe we can do something like this, because we're gonna have to wean people. Like, hey, listen, if you're disabled, if you're truly disabled, because I think that there are people who, not everybody, but I think that there are people who are playing the system that aren't really disabled, and not everybody. Like, there's disabled people, and they should be taken care of. Kids should be taken care of, and I think that older people who live on a fixed income should be taken care of. But I think that, like, if you have a net income, if you have like a net worth over at least $1 million, $500,000, you probably shouldn't get Social Security anymore. And the Democrats are right about the wealthy not paying their fair share in taxes. I mean, you're telling me that Elon Musk is capped off at like $150,000 in paying in Social Security a year? Like these people are worth like billions and they generate, and I'm not saying Elon does this, but these people will take less salary and put it towards their company, and manipulating things that way. So like the value of their stocks go up, the value of their net worth goes up to try to avoid taxes. Maybe we should be like, hey, listen, man, like, how much does it cost to fund your life? She's like, how much does it cost? Oh, okay, so like it takes this much revenue. Oh, so it's like, maybe we should tax that. Maybe we should figure out something like this. I don't know, but these people shouldn't be cut off at, if you're making like if you're rich, you shouldn't be avoiding taxes, like these loopholes. So there should be no limit to how, oh, you're capped off at $100,000. Once you pay $100,000 for Social Security for the year, you don't have to worry about it. So you keep generating money. You know what I mean? It's not fair for the rest of us. I have to live a certain way. I'm an hourly worker. I'm a W-2 worker. I'm living a certain way. I'm trying to do things the right way. Whatever they are producing, and I know you can't look at net income, like net income, but like net worth. That net worth isn't like a solidified thing. Like, somebody's net worth can be like billions of dollars, and then tomorrow they can lose like half of it because the stock market crashes or something like that, or something bad happens to their company. You know what I mean? So like, we got to figure out how much it costs for these people to survive, how much these people are paying, how much money are they spending in their own personal lives and go based off of that. Like these people shouldn't. If you're like Jeff Bezos and you spend like $50 million on a wedding, I mean, yeah, you can pay more than 150,000 in Social Security. Obviously, we should probably go based off of what they're spending instead of like their net worth. Or if they want to try to hide shit, well, I guess you're gonna have to stop your spending. I don't know what to tell you, man, because like you need to be on the same level as us. I have to pay a certain percentage in there. I mean, what I think should happen is we need to pretty much just take people off. Like I said, if you make over, if your net worth is, I don't know what to tell you, man. If you have $500,000 in net worth, you probably shouldn't get Social Security anymore. If you have like 3 different houses, you probably shouldn't get Social Security anymore. And you shouldn't have to pay property taxes on that one house either. I think your starter home, you shouldn't have to pay tax. There shouldn't be no starter homes. It should be, when you buy a house, that should be a house you want to stay in for the rest of your life, unless like a cataclysm happens or something like that, where it just destroys your house, like you live in Tornado Alley. But like, there could be exemptions. But if you're owning, if you're gonna sit here and keep upgrading and doing this and that, like, you're gonna start paying property taxes. You own more than one house, you got to pay property taxes on that. I don't like property taxes at all, but I think it's kind of stupid for me to think about buying a house and having to pay property taxes on top of like how expensive it is just to even like maintain it and pay the mortgage and the insurance and all this crap. And it's pretty ridiculous, honestly. And like where I live, we have to pay property taxes on our vehicles, and I think that's like, and I'm just like, why would I want to own anything here? Yeah. Why don't you put property taxes on this? Like, where does it end? So, I think they charge you like 10% of the value of your vehicle, which is absolutely insane to me. There's so many things that just don't make sense to me. Like, you buy a new car and then like as soon as you drive it off the lot, it loses 40% of its value. Like, what? How? How do I drive it off the lot and it loses 40% of its value? Does it lose 40% of the value when I take a test drive? No. Only when people buy it. So it's like, what? What are you talking about, man? This shit makes no fucking sense, dude. And it's just like people are just fucked left and right in this system, man. But maybe we should. Hey, if you know what I said. I said, hey, what happens if we just stop funding Social Security? Cut it off all the way, just that's a drastic thing. And AI said in the short term, you would see an economic boost with the people like me, the people who are producing stuff, and the people who would suffer would be the older people. And I think that medical would take a hit too. Maybe prices might, take, hey, I don't know what to tell you. We shouldn't really be. It almost seems like we're investing in old people who are about to pass away and not the youth. People, why aren't people having kids? I don't know, because nobody can afford fucking kids. Nobody feels like their future is very secure. It feels like we're going to go to Mad Max. It feels like we're going to have societal breakdown. And this, I'm saying, hey, maybe we should overthrow the government. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying that? Why am I getting to the point where I'm just like, well, maybe we should overthrow the government and enslave these politicians who have fucked us over and done this to us, because they've basically been enslaving us. Why am I saying that? Because they're pushing us to a point that you have Luigi's happen. You have that one guy in New York City that took out that CEO of Blackstone. Is it Blackstone? Not BlackRock, the other one. Or they're buying up properties. Like, I wish I had a bigger microphone. Bigger microphone, but it is what it is. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe I'm wrong in my assessments. It looks bad. It looks bad. I mean, what are we going to default on our debt, on our national debt? Like, we can't keep doing what we're doing. We have to make cuts. If we make cuts, if we just say, hey, if we completely eliminate Social Security, or at least cut it in half, it's going to cause a big effect on our economy. We're going to have to suffer, yes. Dude, if we keep doing what we're doing now, hopefully Trump's plan could work. We'll see. But what I see what's going to happen is the public is going to put the Democrats back in office, and they're just going to, like, nothing's going to happen. You know, Trump's not going to be able to try to work his magic. He's going to be stalled, and we're probably going to get a Democrat president because people are going to they're going to put everything on Trump because, like, they voted to they voted for him, but then they're like voting to handcuff him. Like, they're tired of what the Democrats are doing, but then they want to try to make like significant changes to try to fix problems. But it's like, no, we don't want to try to fix problems. And yes, it causes pain. It does. We're going to have to deal with some pain to fix some problems. No, we would rather have a slow collapse. Well, I think we won't have a slow. I don't think that. I think we're going to run out of time within the next 10 years for people to continue to act this erratically of what they want, which way they want our country to go. It's like, you want to go communist, then we'll go communist. We know what happens with that. There's no prosperity. There's a lot of suffering. It doesn't last long. For sure, you know, socialism works pretty good at first. People have a lot of money. They feel like they can buy stuff, and then what happens is you run out of other people's money, and then, you know, you end up having to live in like Venezuela type or what is that place in Africa? I always forget. I have some of their money. Damn, that sucks. They went to hyperinflation. And that's what will happen here. At some point, we're going to go to hyperinflation. So, like, what I look at what the Republicans are trying to do is they're trying to slow that down. And I don't think that we can fix this problem. I don't think we can fix this currency problem. I think we pretty much have to abandon it. That's what I think. I think that it'll be okay for for the next few years, but I think at some point we'll have to get off of it and go to something else. And I was thinking Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a good thing. You know, we can, you know, it's decentralized, but they'll probably go to some type of like blockchain fucking CBDC, something like that, or, you know, which is like, okay, so we're just going to continue the problem. We're just going to keep, you know, letting you guys create as much as you want, and we'll just deal with this problem again in the future. You know what I mean? It's like, I just, there's no responsibility, you know, and the Democrats want to keep on adding people to the government. They want to keep on putting more stress on the government, and it's like, dude, just, if you really care about these things, then why don't you set up GoFundMe's? You know, you got these rich people like Ed Krasinski, who's a communist, who's for socialism, but and a hard stance, Bernie Sanders, who's a millionaire, who complains about the billionaires. He didn't complain about them. You know, like, he was complaining about the millionaires until he became one. Why aren't you giving up your money? Why aren't you giving up your assets to the government? You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be a socialist. You should go first. These people don't want to go first. So yeah, I think that, if I was in charge, I would probably start cutting a lot of people off, a lot of these old people off, and be like, hey, listen. I wouldn't just like do it right off the bat. I'd be like, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. This is what's happening. This is what we're headed towards. We need to start focusing on our youth, not you. What you need to do is start developing relationships with the youth, maybe bringing them into your house, getting ready to hand over your wealth. Not all boomers are in this position, but there's a good portion of boomers who have a lot of wealth. How about you develop relationships with your kids and your grandkids, and start living in reality, helping out. You only got a few years left. Like, you want to keep on living in hedonism until the pitchforks come for you? Like, what do you want? Like, this, you want to keep just like having your blinders on, causing more resentment with the youth, until they just attack you? Like, I'm not trying to laugh about it. I'm just saying, like, that is something that is very possible in the future if we don't start tackling this stuff. We're not going to outgrow this. We're not going to I think our dollar is doomed. It enslaves the world. It's enslaved a good portion of Americans. And the only people that really benefit from it at this point are the rich people. Maybe the upper class, middle class people. But for the majority of Americans, like, it doesn't really benefit. Maybe the people on welfare, but they're cutting that down, so it doesn't really help them out anymore. And listen, what happens with Monopoly? What happens when you play the game Monopoly? The goal is to have all the assets, have all of the money, and make everyone else bankrupt. So what happens when you do that? The game's over. So when they get all the money, and they get Monopoly, they have all the resources and all the assets. The game is over. But that's a game. This is reality. The reality is the game will be over and they won't be able to control us anymore. So the pitchforks will come for them. That's reality. It's not, no, we'll just start a new game. No, we're not eating. I've been doing everything right my whole life, and now I'm homeless. But you have everything. You live way better than I do. There's a lot of resentment, and the resentment's going to keep growing towards politicians and rich people. And you're just doing it to yourself because you can't read the room. And I say, like, we should enslave you guys. Yeah. You guys should know how it feels. So you don't ever do this again. We should go after, the people that's invested in BlackRock, the trillionaires. They're probably trillionaires behind the scenes, the Rockefellers and these people, the Soroses. We need to go after these people, take all their wealth. I know that sounds bad. You sound like a communist. No, we need to enslave these people. And I don't believe in slavery, but like, hey, these people should be enslaved. I think they deserve to be enslaved at this point. So, it's a good deter for people to not go down this path again, anytime soon. They've been irresponsible. They're the ones that have been in control. People like me have no control over anything. And they've been manipulating and fucking up our lives. So, them and their families deserve, like, they've been living high on the hog for they've been living really well. They've been eating really well while we've been just like scrounging away at the scraps, metaphorically. And listen, man, I'm not pushing for violence. That's what I'm saying. Like, we need to rise up and just enslave these people. What are they gonna do? Like, what'll happen is when they monopolize, when they have all the wealth, people have a choice. They can realize they don't have control over you anymore. You can just easily take everything. Like, these politicians are protected by the military. When people aren't, when people basically aren't gonna fight for the military or fight in the military if they're not getting paid. When they're not going to do it for free. And they will disband. They don't care about they won't care about the military. They're going to care more about protecting their families. They're not going to care about protecting the wealthy, because we're going to have a societal collapse. If we continue this, at some point we're going to have a societal collapse. And people in the military are going to be like, I'm not going to fight for you. I'm not going to protect you. The wealthy will be vulnerable. The politicians will be vulnerable because no one's going to protect them. The reason why we all stay in line is because of the dollar, because we still have trust in it. We still think it's viable. When we're in a Weimar Republic type of scenario, which we're going towards, look it up. Look at what Germany went through before Hitler took over. A lot of it is rhyming with that. When you have to go to work, and then as soon as you get off of work, you have to rush to the store because the prices have changed so quickly. Like, some of these people are doing like price dynamics. Are you fucking kidding me? The prices are going to change to what time of the day it is. I'm kind of a advocate for people who, whatever, if you should pay more for stuff if you have a higher value than somebody like me. If you don't want to pay us right, maybe you should pay more for goods and services than I do. We shouldn't pay equally, since like you make when you make 400 times more than I do, and trust me, it's gonna get worse. You think it's not gonna get worse? It's gonna get worse. The greed's gonna get worse. These politicians are gonna continue to defend the rich people. They're going to continue to fuck us over. And at some point, people are literally not going to be able to afford to eat. They're not going to be able to afford to keep the lights on. They're not going to be able to afford to have a place to live. And you expect them to keep working? What I'm hoping is technology saves us. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see if that happens. Maybe I'm wrong with everything. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe we'll be fine. Maybe other countries will be fine with us, when they buy our bonds or whatever, and we just devalue the bond after they bought it. Maybe they'll be fine with that, because we keep printing out money. So I guess we can maybe just keep printing out money for infinity, and nothing bad will happen. I, for one, am tired of these booms and busts. I want some stability, man. Like, I want to be able okay, the prices, I want to feel confident that the prices are going to stay the same. Like, I don't want to have to deal with thinking about prices going up all the time. I don't want to have to think about, like, what should I invest in? What's risky? Everything's fucking risky. I don't fucking know. I want to feel like for the next 5 years, bread will probably be the same price. gas will be around the same price. You know, my wage should be able to cover my expenses. You know, I don't need to have I don't need to have continuous raises. Like, and the funny thing is they want they want inflation. They want 2% inflation. They want to destroy 2% of your value on your. If you save in dollars, they want to destroy that every single year. They want to destroy your purchasing power. This is what they want, and also, like, it does hurt it does take away the debt as well. So if you hold some debt, it will be less valuable. But the problem is, here's the problem: is wages haven't kept up. You know, prices have been going up and all this and that, but our wages have been stagnant. Rich people's wages or their wages, their net worth is continuously going up. The ladder has been pulled. People get paid just to own stock. So if they own a bunch of stock, they can have all their expenses paid for. They own enough of it, they don't have to do nothing. Like, you can sit here, unless the stock market crashes, you can own a ton of stock. Like, if I had, like, I don't know, I'm just using numbers. I don't even know if this will correlate. But let's just say I had like $50 million, right? Let's just say I got $50 million. I won the lottery, and I'm like, okay, I won the lottery. I got $50 million. After all the taxes and the lump sum, I got a $50 million payout of the lottery. You know, like, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy a couple things. You know, like, I'll spend $1 million. You know, get me a new car, get me a place, stuff like that. It's all paid off. Then I'm gonna take that $49 million and I'm gonna put it in all these stocks that pay me out dividends. I literally don't have to do nothing for the rest of my life. Not only do I keep my value unless these companies go bankrupt, and they've been going up in value, but all of my assets are going to pay for my living expenses. Now, $50 million, you get a dividends. Like, I don't know. You can do the math yourself. You can look it up. Like, look up some stock, like whatever it's a Ford, whatever gives out dividends. You know, they give you out certain percentage of dividends every quarter. Well, if you have enough stock in something, like $50 million will pay you out pretty good dividends. So, I mean, like, you probably get paid, like, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. This is just something. Probably $100,000 every quarter. It's like $400,000. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, these people literally don't have to work anymore. They don't have to do shit. Their money makes them money. You know, and all the rest of us who don't have fucking assets, who can't afford assets, who are just trying to get fucking by, we have to keep grinding and grinding, and we get looked down on by society. So it's just like, dude, this is fucking ridiculous. These people don't have to do shit, and their money just generates some revenue and income every year. Yeah, they get taxed on it too, for sure. But it's just like, that is so crazy that if you have enough assets, your assets will fund your life. That's it. It's called passive income. That's insane. That's insane. So, you know, the ladder, what it feels like is the ladder's pulled up, and the people who are already well off, they're good, and the rest of us, we're fucked. We're living check to check for the rest of our lives, and we're not going to get Social Security, so that keeps coming out. So we have to keep, you know, how much, like, for me, if I didn't have to pay for Social Security or Medicare, yeah, I'm not going to have that when I'm old. then I'll get euthanized. Like if I have an ailment, then just put me just take me out. I don't know what to say. I know that sounds crass or whatever. That sounds barbaric, but it's like, dude, I'm old anyway. Just I'm a burden on society. I don't need to be here anymore. That's where we're getting, because things are fucking hard. But I can use an extra $300 a month. That's how much they take out. That's my energy bill was $270 last month because it's fucking hot. I run the AC. I need to be able to sleep. I can't sleep in 90-degree weather. It's like I have to go to work, Yeah, I keep my thermostat like 75. And at night, I tell my kids, you can put it down a little bit. Sometimes they put it down to 70. But yeah, I can definitely use that $300 now. And dude, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm just trying to get by right now. I don't know if I'm going to live to be an old man. I could get taken out at any time. And I am thinking about my future, but it's like, what is the future? Are we even going to have money in 20 years? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I am for us having all of our jobs replaced by robots. I am. And the people who don't want this, who like advocate against it, are the people that don't have to work these jobs. You see them. You see them on here. They're rich. They got status. They don't have to go fucking take out the trash. They don't have to, like, I have a problem with my trash service. They keep on forgetting to take my trash. Who likes to do that job? Most people don't like to do our fucking jobs, man. Even if we are compensated right, we still don't want to fucking do these jobs. So the people who like, I can do a lot. I don't give a fuck if I spend the rest of my life. Let's just say hypothetically, like if all of our jobs are just automatically replaced right now, and I get a UBI, I don't give a fuck if the rest of my life is just fucking smoking weed. Maybe coming up with something creative here and there, or just consuming content. Who gives a fuck? Like, my job is not my identity. Maybe a lot of people have that mindset. Like, oh, I'm a banker. I'm this. Like, that's who I am. That's what my label is. I don't label myself, man. I look at these jobs as just something that I have to do to get by. That's what I look at these fucking jobs as. Not something like, I am a powder coater. I am a fucking warehouse worker. I am a forklift driver. I am a corn mill operator. I don't, you know what I mean? I am a loader. Like, I just do this because I have to, not because I want to. If I was not getting paid to do this and my necessities were taken care of, I'm not going to go do these fucking jobs for free. I might sit here and go like try an experience, right? I might go, if I had the time, and be like, hey, I wonder what it is like to, brew, be in a brewery or something, or I wonder how this works. And then I go spend some time just for the fucks of it, for the entertainment purposes or like knowledge purposes. But it's not like something I want to do every fucking day. Maybe it's like a simulation. I want to simulate what it was like. I want to simulate like what it was like to be a mailman or something like that. Do I want to do it forever? No. Do I want to do it every day? No. Can I get like a general like a general understanding of how things work? Yeah. But do you think I want to keep doing it like for the rest of I know this sounds crazy. I'm a very open-minded person. And for right now, we have to have jobs because we don't have robots doing the job. So we have to rely on humans. I just wish like the rich people and politicians would read the room because they don't see like they're going to lose the chains on us. They can only keep printing out so much money and devaluing our dollar so much until we can't live anymore. And then all hell will break loose and then we'll live in a Mad Max, I guess. I'm not rooting for that. I'm not rooting for societal breakdown. I wish like these rich people had more. Like, what do you need this giant palace for? Like, seriously, it's just your family of four in a huge palace. For what? Like, why? It's just ridiculous. I think that people need to change their mindset. And I'm telling you, the youth are fucking pissed. And if you think I'm full of shit, all you have to do is look at what Luigi did. All you have to do is look at these fucking school shootings. There's lack of empathy with these people, man. I'm sorry that I'm speaking the truth. I'm sorry that this is the way it is. It's not the way I want it to be. I wish it was like the 1950s, but without the racism and all that bullshit. I wish we were all prosperous. I wish that, like, rich people can make their money and they can live high on the hog. That's cool, but I'm doing good too. I wish that we weren't using slave labor for the cobalt, like child labor for the cobalt in my phone. I wish everyone could be taken care of. But that's not what the world we live in, and it's just becoming more and more. There's just the wealthy and then everybody else. We got the numbers, dude. And, for you wealthy people and you politicians, I mean, I'm not making any threats. I'm just saying, like, listen, man. This what's gonna happen if we keep doing this shit. I don't want it to happen. I don't want people to be enslaved. I don't want anything bad to happen. I don't like violence. But I understand human nature. And when people have nothing left to lose, they don't give a fuck no more. They don't give a fuck. Read the room, dude. Fucking insurance companies, politicians, all you people are jacking up your prices and you don't need to. You don't need record profits anymore. Like, how much value is your fucking company worth? How much are you going to take from everybody else? How much are you going to keep fucking us over until you realize everyone's coming for you? Everyone's gunning for you. You're going to be a target. It's not what I want. It's not what I'm advocating for. I wish I had a bigger voice so people, these people can maybe wake up. But apparently they either know this is going to happen or they just don't give a fuck. So maybe I'm wrong. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope things get better. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping things get better. I want things to get better. If we take away Social Security from older people, people have more disposable income right now that will help people to want to be able to buy a house, to want to be able to have kids. You're investing more into the youth. Social Security is unsustainable. I think we should try to phase it out, not just completely eliminate it right now. I think over the next 5 years, we should, hey, listen, you need to get your shit together. Start living with your kids. Yeah, because you're going to lose this shit. You're on welfare. You want to get off of welfare. We need to create jobs for people to go to. So, like, we can't keep doing this. When you go to the debt clock, why is it going up so much? There's a reason for that. That's not good. And to be honest, you're going to see this, what the stuff I'm talking about, you're going to see in other countries first. It's not going to happen here first. It's going to happen in other countries. We have the best right now. We do. We got the best economic system right now. We do. But it doesn't mean that things can't collapse. If you look at the Depression, bad things can happen. The recession in 2008. You'll see what I'm talking about in other countries first. So when it starts happening there, I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that we can. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Anyway, that's it.